My name is Greg Story. I am the president of Carnegie Training here in Japan. When we talk to companies about leadership and some of the challenges that their leaders are having, one of the very common things that comes up is leaders have not enough time for all the projects, all the work that's on their plate, all the many meetings they have to go to. And we ask, okay, well, why is that? Why are they so busy? And we find a couple of things. One is they're doing too much. They're doing way too much. And we say, well, why are you doing all of these tasks when some of these you should be delegating and you should be doing more high-level tasks? And they say, well, look, we tried delegation, but it didn't work. And we found that people made mistakes, and then there were problems, had to be redone, rework, and I'm still accountable, and I really can't trust these people to do a good job. So it's faster and easier if I do it myself. Fatal last words right there. It'll be faster if I do it myself. No, it won't. In the long term, it's much better if someone else is doing that and you are working on the things that only you can work on. So we say, well, delegation, what was the problem? Why didn't it work? And as we uncover how they did the delegation, we realize it's not delegation that's not working, it's the way that they're trying to delegate that doesn't work. Now here's a very classic boss delegation scene. Big fat folder full of materials, come over to the team member's desk, kaboom, drop big fat folder on desk and say, I need this done by Friday, get onto it. That's not delegation, that's dumping. So you can imagine this is not a very successful methodology, so consequently the results are not very successful. What should they have done? Well, first of all, they should have not looked around to see who's not busy. They should have looked around and seen, for this task, who is the right person I should be actually getting involved in this. So they're looking for a good fit between the content of the work and the skill set of the person who should be doing it. Secondly, there should be a conversation, not here's my big fat folder, boom, get to work. The conversation they really need to have was to explain to the person who's being delegated to what is in it for them. Why is this particular task going to help them? So when we say things like, you are going to be a person who's going to step up in this organization, at some point you want to move forward. When you get to the point of being interviewed for the job, you're going to need to show that you have the experience so they can actually have confidence to give you that high position. The way you get that experience now is through getting tasks at my level that I can delegate to you to give you that necessary experience so that you can step up. And I'm going to help you with this and show you what you need to do, but then you'll take ownership. And then when you get to that interview stage, you can say, yes, well, I have done this and this and this, and impress the panel so that you're given the accountability for a higher role. So we start to change the conversation around the content's benefit to the person receiving it. Because when you come and just dump the folder on their desk, they feel, hang on a minute, I'm already busy. I don't need this. And by the way, this is your work, not mine. Why am I getting this? I don't want to do this. There's no involvement, there's no passion, there's no ownership, there's no commitment to the task. However, if they feel, right, this is helping me to grow in my career and this is going to give me an exposure to a certain level of work that will help me to convince people in an interview, their commitment, their ownership goes right up. So this is something that bosses need to change the way they're doing the delegation. Then when they get to the actual project or the piece of work, let that person tell you how they're going to do it. Don't tell them what to do. Let them tell you how they're going to do it. More ownership coming out here. Agree some milestones when certain things have to be done. And then all we have to do as the boss is come back and just check, is this on track? Are the milestones being met? Good, we're well and truly on the way to go here. So we can save ourselves a lot of time through not doing everything ourselves. And now the other question we ask leaders is, how are you developing your people? What are you doing about coaching your people? Oh yes, I'm coaching my team. Great. What do you do? Well, what we find very quickly is they're not coaching. They're not coaching. They're giving orders. Do this, do this, do this, do this. That's not coaching, that's giving orders. Coaching is developing your people. And we ask, well, giving orders is not coaching. What are you actually doing to coach? Well, actually, I'm not coaching. Well, why aren't you coaching? Well, I'm too busy. I'm too busy doing all this stuff. So if we can free up the leaders from the current work they have through delegation, then we can create time for them to do some coaching. And what would be involved in the coaching? Well, a big part of the coaching would be explaining the why that we're doing things to people, showing them how to do it if it requires that, giving them support, giving them praise, giving them recognition. When people start on something that's new, invariably they're not going to be perfect at it. So they need some encouragement in those early stages because they're out of their comfort zone. Their confidence is not high, and we shouldn't wait till the end of the whole thing to give them some praise. On the way through, we give them praise, and we bolster their confidence to keep going. So we give them that support, we give them the praise, we give them the recognition, we give them some guidance on how to do it, and keep them going, make them accountable, keep them going, and build their capacity. Because as leaders, we're different to managers. Managers, you just manage process, execute policy. That's great. Leader, yes, you do all those things, but you also build and develop your people. Having the time one-on-one with people to build a trust with those people, to have credibility with those people, to get the loyalty from those people, to get the engagement from those people, all of that is very, very important, but that takes time. And coming to the subject of engagement, Japan's really got some shocking numbers around engagement. And Gallup published their numbers, and they say that the fully engaged workforce in Japan is only 7% of the working population. 7%, that's all. That's not a very spectacular result. So why aren't people engaged? Well, a big part of it is the communication skill of their bosses. If you are, well, we said before about explaining the why, are you able to inspire people to see the vision for the company and where we're going and get people behind that? Are you including people in the decision-making process and getting their input into how it can be done, fitting their ideas, looking for creative insight, innovations into how we'll actually execute it? Is this going on? This is very much the communication piece that's often missing. The communication pieces are often do it. Here's the date, do it, that's it. That's not a communication piece either. So if we're not communicating well, and if we're communicating in an extremely ineffective manner, for example, often people are promoted into positions of leadership, and the thing they hate most about the job is having to stand up in front of people and talk. They are absolutely terrified of public speaking, addressing groups, leading meetings. They're not good at it. They need to have that skill where they can facilitate the meeting, they can get people inspired behind the direction of the company. These are skills that they have to have, but often they're lacking. So they're very monotone in their delivery, very lifeless in their energy, and not inspiring, boring. That's not going to get people motivated. That's not going to lift the engagement scores anytime soon. So, we have a problem with education around leadership. Now, there's terrific programs around educating leaders, and they're often these executive courses. I've been to them. I was sent to Harvard Business School, Stanford Business School, INSEAD Business School, a week, 2 weeks. They're fantastic, fantastic courses. One thing I noticed, though, when you come back, it's very hard to actually take anything you did in that course and apply it immediately, practically, in your work. These tend to be more projecting forward, they're more long-term planning, they're more the big picture type of thing. The actual practical day-to-day, immediately implementable items, there weren't that many of those. So wouldn't it be great if we could get our leaders doing practical things like being better delegators and being better coaches and being better communicators, and something you could learn of practical nature that's immediately implementable to get an immediate lift in the business. Wouldn't it be great to have something like that? Well, we have something like that. It's called the Leadership Training for Managers course. It's a 7-week program. We do it in-house. We can do it as a public course. We do it in Japanese mainly. We also have it in English. And over those 7 weeks, we have what we call time-spaced learning. So you would do some training initially. Then between that session and the next session, you would back at the workplace, practice what you've learned, put it into reality, test it, come back and report on how that happened. You just keep repeating that over the 7 weeks. And running right through the middle of that course is an innovation project. You choose what the project will be. Now, it might be, if it's in-house, it might be the whole team does it, or half the team, or it just could be yourself. But you find something very, very practical that's of immediate benefit, maybe in the next 6 to 12 months, and you use what you've learned in the course to develop that innovation project over the length of those 7 weeks. And in week 8, we're no longer there, but in week 8, you're sitting in front of your boss or in front of your bosses explaining your innovative idea and your suggestion for this particular project. So it's got a number of immediate benefits, including that one, which is really great. So if you would like to see your leadership group really start to become more professional, more capable, and get more leverage from the people that are working for them, because that is where the business lift is. Leaders can only do so much themselves. Their job, manage, process, and build people, and get the leverage of the whole team going. If we can get that going, then the business starts to move. And if you are not doing it, if you are not investing in developing a leadership team, and your competition is, they're going to leave you behind. So let's invest in our team. Let's get them on the Leadership Training for Managers course, and let's see the results go from here to here. And I look forward to seeing you on the Leadership Training for Managers course, and to see you getting the best results for your business.